Shrahasha in Rinnahi and Uriha Igan Manor House. Ladies and gentlemen, you're all very welcome to our broadcast today, coming to you live from Canon Maguire Park in Derrygonnelly for this Manor House Senior Football League Division 1 game between Derrygonnelly Harps and Erne Gaels League. This game has been brought to you live on Fermanagh GAA TV. My name is Erne Gaels and I'm very glad to be joined today by Erne Gaels, and we're very glad to have your company for this broadcast.
Thanks very much, Kieran.
For those of you who are tuning in on Fermanagh GAA TV subscribers, a warm welcome to you. Many of you will have joined our games throughout week number 1 and will be joining in the future. But if you haven't already subscribed to Fermanagh GAA TV on YouTube, make sure you do, so that we have a wide variety of content that can be viewed on that channel and all our social media pages to keep the patrons of Fermanagh and the Gaels updated to the comings and goings in the county. Finally, a special welcome to anyone who is joining in today from overseas, especially the Derrygonnelly and Erne Gaels contingent. Those of you who have roots in Fermanagh, we recognise that you're in every country under the sun, so it's great to bring you a reminder of your home county. Anita, the two teams are warming up at the minute. Your initial thoughts looking at the conditions and how both of the teams warmed up?
Well, I watched Erne Gaels. I was very impressed with their warm-up. A number of their younger players are looking quite sharp. Shane really looks to be in very good shape. And in addition, young Oren Johnson is starting today. He came on the last day against Fermanagh and scored a late goal. He's at St Michael's at the moment, and a very promising young footballer actually, Oren Johnson, so it's good to see him getting the start today. For Derrygonnelly, probably the absence of Ryan Jones around the middle of the field will determine a lot today, and that's where the battle will be won and lost, I suppose. But yeah, looking over Knockmore Mountain, it seems sunny enough at the moment, but the rain is never far away out here, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're lucky we're in the covered area of the field here. The rain, there's been a lot of rain in the last couple of days, so the pitch is liable to greasy, though it does look quite good from our position anyway. I don't know what it'll be like on there.
The pitch holds the water well and it's in good condition, but like you say, that wee shower of rain we had earlier on, the ball could be skating and bobbling along the top, so I suppose it's probably not the kind of day to be looking for the fancy balls pinged into the corner forward, you know, and hopefully now the two teams are getting ready now to come out, but you'd be hoping that we don't get a big shower of rain that it'll ruin the game, you know, as such, because Erne Gaels bring a very open kind of a brand of football, and they won't be afraid to go at Derrygonnelly the day they'll attack.
We're in week number 2 of our senior league, and at half time in this game, Pádraig McGurn will be joining us to go through the results from the other games. Most of the other games were played at 1 o'clock this afternoon, so we're going to go through that at half time, as I was saying. One of the things I remarked when I was driving down to the game today, I drove past a couple of the other clubs that's on the route, and the other games were on. There's people standing on the sidelines, and I could see people driving into them in their cars. It just struck me how great it is to have the Gaelic games back.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Teams back out, supporters, patrons who had been kept inside with COVID and all the restrictions relating to that there. It's great to have something to talk about.
Yeah, it's great for people to have that social outlet, and probably it's only when it's taken away from you that you realise how important it is to people. Just being able to come out on a Sunday and watch your team, watch your neighbours and your parish people, it really, we thought 2 months ago we wouldn't get any football at all, and here we are now into the second round of the league, and please God we'll make it to the end of the competition this year. And I know clubs are wary, and there are people who are still wary, but as long as procedures are put in place and players follow what they're asked to follow, I think clubs have managed it very well in a very short space of time, and I think all the clubs should be, congratulated on doing such a good job, but keep the work up as well, But definitely it's great, it is brilliant to get back out, even from a playing perspective, for people to get back out to play, because, locked up for 3 months, not easy.
Cabin fever, yeah, without a doubt. So as we look onto the park, we can see referee James Lewis is talking to the two captains of the team. This is probably a good time for us to go through the two teams who will be lining out today. Erne Gaels are, according to the information we're given, Brian Ryder will start in goals. Their cornerbacks will be Pádraig Johnson, Paul Ward fullback, and Ben McCann in the other corner. Wing half-backs of Oren Johnson, Jack McCann and Paul McCaffrey. Centre of the field, Michael Oak McGarrigle and Ronan Cox. half forward line of Barry McCann, Thomas McCaffrey and Oisin Callum, and a full forward line of Shane Rooney, Dara Keown and Seamus Ryder.
That's a very, very dangerous attack there that Erne Gaels have. I mean, you look at Thomas McCaffrey, Oisin Callum, big Shamey in there. You know, if Erne Gaels decide to go route one, it can cause problems. So, you know,
if they decide to carry it as well, you have speed, good players, good hands.
Shane Rooney there, I'm really impressed watching Shane Rooney so far in the warm-up. His handling and his speed, he's in good shape and he's injury-free this year, which has been very important for Erne Gaels to get any kind of, you know, anything out of him, you know, because he has been injury-prone, God love him. But I think for Blake and for the neutral, it's great to see Seamus Ryder out there. He's just one of those players that's just worth the £5 in alone. It's great to see him. He can do anything really. So it'll be interesting to see how they play, if they're going to throw it in on top of him or if they're going to, like you say, play it through the hands in quick.
Referee James Lewis blowing his whistle to get the two teams coming out of their warm-up. Now quickly through the Derrygonnelly team. In goals, it's number 1 Jack Kelly, a full back line of Jack Love, Tiernan Daly and Michael Jones. Half back line, Lee Jones, Aidan McKenna and Garvin McGinley were number 7. In the middle of the field, it's Oisin Smith and Stephen McGullion lined out to start in midfield. Centre half forward line, Declan Cassidy, Garvin Jones and Eamon McHugh, with a full forward line of Stephen Gilroy, Micheál Glynn and Gavin McGovern. Looking at that Derrygonnelly team, their half forward line is one of the strongest lines on the team. They'll be dependent on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of work out of that half forward line when you take Decky Cassidy and Eamon McHugh. You know, they're grafters. They'll get in, get the dirty ball around the middle and move it on. Garvin Jones can take scores from anywhere, but that half forward line and probably the half back line as well will have, you know, a lot of running in them today and a lot of work to do. But my feeling would be around the middle of the field, you know, Oisin Smith is going to have a huge game today with the absence of Ryan Jones, because, you know, you look at Michael McGarrigle and Ronnie Cox in the middle of the field for Blake, and, you know, that could be an even enough kind of a battle today, so that's going to be crucial.
Well, for the likes of Oisin Smith, who's stepping in to fill Ryan Jones's position, maybe temporary for today, but as the season goes on, we've quite a short season this year, so it's a good chance for some of those younger players. They've been thrown straight into, they're thrown in at the deep end to a certain extent. They're having to adapt to senior football, and even some of the more regularly, the players who have years and years of experience, this is all new for them too, so it's a great start for some of those younger players.
It is, yeah. It gives them the chance, and it's up to them young lads to take that chance, and they know if they don't take it, there's 5 or 6 guys on the bench chomping at the bit to go at it. So, you know, this idea of this conveyor belt of youth coming through, it's fine and it's great, but if they're not, you know, trying to really break the way onto an adult team, they really need, when they get the chance, to go for it and go for it with both hands. Now, Eddie McKenna last week was very, very good, really went at the game, so it'll be interesting to see now he's playing in a defensive position. Be interesting to see how he comes on this week.
So, as James Lewis, the two teams have taken their position. As we look at it, Derrygonnelly are defending from my right, playing from our right to left, with Erne Gaels playing from left to right. So we see Jack Kelly and Tiernan Daly down here. James Lewis is going round, seems to be checking, making sure everyone's on the field. He's going back to the centre field to get ready to throw the ball up, and we'll have the start of this game in Division 2 of the Manor House Senior Football League, Division 1 Round 2, I should have said. So James Lewis with the ball up, the game's underway, going in midfield. It's been picked up by number 9, who's Stephen McGullion, breaking inside the 45 mid line, looking the right foot, taking a shot. It's going to drop short, but that ball has gone wide. So from the throw in, Anita, Derrygonnelly winning the ball, running straight to the heart of the Erne Gaels defence.
Probably took the wrong option there as well, though, but in fairness to Mug, once he got away, he shook off Michael McGarrigle and kind of the space opened up for him. So
it's gone wide. It's gone to a 45, beg your pardon. Looking, it's lining up here. Is that number 10?
That's Micheál Glynn taking
Micheál Glynn taking this here. Looks like he's going to hit it with his left foot. On the 45, seems to be reasonably central, takes it, strikes it well, good elevation, looking good, and it's over the bar, and that's our first score from the 45, and that from the boot of Micheál Glynn.
Yeah, there's a lot expected from young Micheál Glynn, you know, the hype around the St Michael's McCrory and Hogan Cup winning team, but definitely in his first year of adult football he is delivering so far. That was a lovely strike off the ground from 45, so it's good to see that, you know, these young players, to get the chance and they go for it.
Yeah. the League midfielder number 8, Michael Maguires, he seemed to go down very early in that there, and he's actually gone off the field here now, so we have a substitution inside about 40 seconds, and number 18, Gareth Derry, has come on to replace Michael Maguires, so that's the plans of Erne Gaels.
He did kind of pull up once Muggs got away from him there with that ball earlier, so he could have twinged or pulled something, you wouldn't know.
From the kick out, that high ball was picked up by number 8, who is Oisin Smith. Oisin Smith kicking it into Garvin Jones. Doesn't take his mark, passes it back to Lee Jones. Lee Jones looking for a bit of support, and he's got Micheál Glynn there, got that point in the first minute of the game. Now it's with Eamon McHugh as he breaks inside the 45 metre line, plays a nice left footed ball bouncing one foot in front of Stephen Gilroy, gives it back to Lee Jones, breaking inside the 21. He's on this side of the field. They haven't really got in towards a shooting position, but they're playing nice patient football. Lee Jones with that ball goes high, it's going in and around the goal line, but it is going to go wide. It was a dangerous ball, and it was well directed, but in on that forward line was it
Eamon McHugh was floating in there, and you know, probably taking these snapshots, maybe panicking when you have a wee bit of time on the ball, but definitely Eamon was sniffing in there.
Well, if your ball's not good, that's a great spot for it to land, because I'd say nothing would shake a goalkeeper than that there. Erne Gaels struggling to get the kick out away. That was blocked down by Eamon McHugh, gives it to Micheál Glynn. Micheál Glynn threading ball in through, and it was kicked forward by number 15, Gavin McGovern. That was a lovely threaded ball for Micheál Glynn.
Beautiful ball through from Glynn on a sixpence straight into Gavin McGovern's running path, but probably might have had just a little
Seemed
bit
to
too
toe
much
poke
on
it, didn't pick it up into his hand. He toe poked it and it just went wide.
Went wide, yeah.
3 kick outs, and Erne Gaels are struggling to get the ball out past the 45 metre line. I see that one went long, one is going short. This, see how it's going to go out long again. Left footed kick from the foot of Brian Ryder into midfield. Erne Gaels have picked that ball up now. It's in the hands of Oran Johnson. Oran Johnson going forward, there's 2 players around him, gets that ball back to Paul McCaffrey. Paul McCaffrey is breaking inside the 45 metre line. He's got Ronan Cox for support. Now Ronan Cox gives it to Tommy McCaffrey. Tommy McCaffrey wants to get it to his left foot. Now it's in the hands of number 17, who is Oisin Kellam. And Oisin Kellam judged it's a free out anyway. Seems to be a hand, or
Judged
someone was pulling
maybe
back.
pulled him back, I felt, yeah. And Tomas McCaffrey was on the overlap there if they'd have played it in a wee bit quicker to him.
That free was taken short, and Declan Cassidy on the far side of the field now. It's with Michael Jones, gives it to Eamon McHugh on the far side of the field, looking to find Lee Jones. Is probably going to go too long, and that has gone out over the line. It'll be a line ball to Erne Gaels. Erne Gaels have struggled to the one foray up into the Derrygonnelly half, but their cohesion doesn't seem to be going too well at the minute, Anita.
Yeah, probably took a wee bit too much out of that attack when they had the chance. When McCaffrey had launched himself free there, they should have been hitting it in first time, but look, it is the second game of the league and they're all a wee bit rusty, you know.
Now, Erne Gaels with that ball now, and it's in the hands of their full back, who's Paul Warden, releases the corner back, which is Ben McCann over there, blocked down. Now it's picked up in the hands of, it's in Garvin Jones's hand now, gives it back to Garvin McGinney. Garvin McGinney looking to kick a big long kick into Stephen Gilroy, isolated in there, plenty of space around him, gives it to Gavin McGovern. Gavin McGovern was pushed off that ball, and the referee has now blown for a free in to Balik. Gavin McGovern, if he had got away, he'd have had only the goalkeeper to beat, but it was a good tackle from the cornerback.
Well. He done very well down on that scoreboard side there, went the break ball to release it quick and made the run alongside. You know, he probably deserved to get a score from that. I felt he was probably fouled the first time and managed to get the ball played out and then got the free from it. So, you know, it's good to see Gavin McGovern getting into the game.
Now, the free has been taken out of the hands of Garvin Jones, 21 metres out in the left foot, straight over the bar, brings our score to 2 points for Derrygonnelly, no score to Erne Gaels, and we have 5 minutes played in this first half. Goalkeeper Brian Ryder looking to set this ball up in 21 metre line. Derrygonnelly seem to have all pushed up. Erne Gaels trying to get someone into a bit of space. That's Eamon McHugh's in there, but tipped down by Ronan Cox. Eamon McHugh picked it up, gives it to Stephen McGullion, looking for Garvin Jones on the 45 metre line. That ball slips out of the hand of Garvin Jones, gets it picked up again. Now it was Declan Cassidy. There's 2 balls dropped in a row from Derrygonnelly, picked up now, and it's in the hands of it's come to Eamon McHugh anyway, who's on the 21 metre line with the left footed shot. I think that's going to go wide. Yeah,
wide ball there. The ball kind of moved quite a bit along that half forward line there, and Erne Gaels didn't really kind of press at all as such, and it meant that, you know, the opening was there for Amo to come through. I think Erne Gaels defensively probably need to tighten up a wee bit, particularly on Eamon McHugh. Seems to be getting his hands on a lot of balls so far.
I I think if we could get the ball from the kick out, that would certainly help. Stephen McGuillan's going up there with Tommy McCaffrey, broken down. Paul McCaffrey's in there too. Eamon McHugh has picked it up and it's given to the centre half-back, who's Aidan McKenna, taking a shot on the right foot. Plenty of time to steady himself, and that has gone over the bar from about 35 metres out.
Yeah, that's an excellent score there for Aidan McKenna, who had initially been in around the middle of the field for that break ball and made the run out along the stand side, got the return pass and just had a shot. And that's what you want to see. You want to see players just having a go at it instead of this endless fist passing, you know, so fair play.
So far, Brian Ryder's handled the most ball for Erne Gaels. That kick out again now, it's in the hands of Stephen McGuillan, who didn't take his mark, played on ahead, and he has now won a free 2 metres outside the 45 metre line. Seems to be going to give it to Micheál Glynn. Micheál Glynn probably going to take it off the ground, but again, Erne Gaels can't win the ball from their own kick out. Referee's brought that ball forward.
Yeah, he's brought that forward. Something must have been said to him there, and like this is definitely Glynn territory.
Yeah, going to take it out of the hands as well from the left foot. Bounces the ball a couple of times to get his momentum, lining up to take this kick. Nice elevation, plenty of accuracy, and it's gone over the bar. That leaves 4 points to no score to Derrygonnelly.
Yeah, that was probably a silly free to give away, because McGuillan had won the mark, he didn't take it and he ran on, and it was just a lazy late arm in across. Lewis had no option there but to give it. So
I'm sure the Erne Gaels management are having to think, how can we get this ball up into the hand? That was another kick out try for trying to give it to Jack McCann, but it's bounced over the line. Eamon McHugh's taking that short, gives it to Garvin Jones. Garvin Jones, 3 Erne Gaels men around and kicks it back, and that's going to go out over the line, which is going to give Erne Gaels a ball. At least they're going to have a chance to break out without having to take it from the kick out.
Yeah, it's frustrating, I'd say, for the keeper too, because there's very little movement here on the half-back line from the Bleak players for him.
That was a very suspect ball, but it's been picked up now by Oren Johnson. He had Aidan McKenna for company. Now it's with Dara Keown, who has come out from full forward to give it to number 10, who's Barry McCann. Dispossessed now. Declan Casty breaking out, love, first time ball into the hands of Micheál Glynn. That ball has slipped away from Stephen Gilroy's in there too now. Tommy McCaffrey's going to pick that up. Tommy McCaffrey in his corner back position, that can't be good.
Yeah, look where he is.
Breaking out here, he's got his support there, uses his full back, who is Paul Ward, gives it back to Tommy McCaffrey. Now bouncing the ball, he's in a lot of trouble in there, going to need a bit of support here. He's got number 17, who is Oisin Kellam, and Oisin Kellam gives that to the number 6, Jack McCann. Breaking out into, going to step towards the 45 metre line. It's now in the hands of Ronan Cox. No, this is the problem when you have Tommy McCaffrey out, you've no one in your full forward line.
He shouldn't be
Paul
in his own half-back line.
Gives it over to, it's in the hands of number 5, who is Oren Johnson. This could be the chance for Erne Gaels to get forward and put Derrygonnelly under pressure.
Not anything easy off Mickey Jones.
No, Mickey Jones dispossessed him now. Mickey Jones picks it up. He couldn't get a chance to get to his feet, and he's won the free. First time gives it. Eamon McHugh's there. Declan Casty's there. Going to tip it to Declan Casty on the 45 metre line, breaking forward. That was number 4, Ben McCann, who was trying to dispossess him, but it's been picked up by Paul Ward. And now Erne Gaels have a bit of space and a couple of players free. So they have an overlap here with Tommy McCaffrey. Gives it back from number 9, Ronan Cox, breaking inside the Derrygonnelly midfielder. That was a nice threaded ball from Tommy McCaffrey. That was picked up well by the number 18, who is Gareth Deary. Gareth Deary came on, of course, for Michael O'Mcgarrigle. That ball from Tommy McCaffrey in onto the edge of the 21 metre line, and it's a mark. So Gareth Deary picking that ball up, and now he's gone in, going to have a free shot at goal. Gives it over to Shane Rooney.
And I actually would have felt there that number 18, Gareth Deary, was probably fouled as well as taking his mark, but Shane Rooney duly obliges and pops that free over the bar. So hopefully now this might give Erne Gaels a wee bit of impotence to get going.
Brings it to 4 points to 1. More than likely had to be a foul, because I don't think you're allowed to let someone else take your mark, from my understanding of the rules. But anyway, kick out from Jack Kelly has been picked up by Dara Keown, who's back in his own defence, to try and get the ball won in there, and that was a foul on the Erne Gaels defender in there. Now it's in the hands of number 10, who is Barry McCann. It's not Brian McCann either, it's Oisin Kellam. That ball has come very short. It's been picked up by Stephen McGuillan. He gives it forward into number 15, who is Gavin McGovern. Gavin McGovern struggling to get that ball picked up by Ben McCann's giving him trouble in there, and it's gone out of the hand of Gavin McGovern. So good defence from Ben McCann. He didn't let Gavin McGovern pick that ball.
Yeah, good defend. Gavin probably he should have got it up maybe first time, you'd feel, but just coming back to where Erne Gaels were here in their half forward line, and just took too much out of it. Number 17, Oisin Kelm, was coming through, just took too much out of it instead of hitting the ball in first time.
Short kick out's been dispossessed, and now Derrygonnelly they had a chance of a goal there, but it has been picked up now, and it's in the hands of Jack McCann. Jack McCann winning that free, looking for someone in midfield, and it's on his full forward, who is Dara Keown. Dara Keown is inside his own 45-metre line, fists that ball over to Barry McCann, turning back, looking for support. Looks like he's going to have to go to his brother Jack McCann, wearing number 6 today. Jack, he's breaking forward. There's Garvin Jones is there. The two of them kind of held him up, but the referee has blown that for overcarrying it. I would say that's a bit harsh.
That's harsh, you know. I felt probably, he maybe ran into the two challenges, but he had been smothered, and he, it was a free.
It's one of those ones, I'm sure no doubt he took more than 4 steps, but he couldn't get a chance to get it away. That's was Micheál Glynn, who's just kicked that ball over the fence. So goalkeeper Brian Ryder's going to have to get another ball to set this one up.
Yeah,
Erne Gaels are still struggling to get the ball from the kick out.
And the kick out, they're not winning the midfield battle, so they're going to have to try and come up with some options to play it short.
It's going out here between Ronan Cox. 3 Derrygonnelly men, but Ronan Cox got in there, got his hand on it, couldn't pick it up. Now it's Declan Cassidy's picked that up, give it to Micheál Glynn on his inside the 45-metre line. Lovely through ball into Lee Jones. Now Lee Jones breaking forward. That was too many steps, I'm sure. 2 bounces, so that's blown for a free out.
Probably was expecting the return run from Glynn, and I think Glynn was just going to kind of let him have a go, but that's disappointing now from Lee.
It can happen forwards when they get, or defenders when they get that far forward, and they're dependent to score.
Normally Lee is only one thing on his mind when he gets up there, and that's usually bombing it over, but probably was on his left side as well, which didn't suit.
From that free, it's now in the hands of Dara Keown, who's had to do a lot of work on his own defence. He's passing it over there on that far stand side of the field for Erne Gaels as they try to break forward. The point of the scoreline is still 4 points to 1. That ball kicked in. Shane Rooney's got his hands on it, had an overlap and running, but he's gotten dispossessed. Now it's been picked up by number 2, Jack Love.
That was the first direct ball that they've hit in, actually, and both Ryder and Rooney had made the run, so probably Rooney just overcooked it maybe.
As I look at the flags, there doesn't seem to be much wind looking at the flags in Rennes. You can't see it even on the far side.
Not really,
so
no.
Erne Gaels haven't took any direct ball into their forward line so far. Declan Cassidy, as we continue on, fisting that ball back now. It's in the hands of number 6, Aidan McKenna. He's got support there from his midfield colleague, who is Oisin Smith, breaking inside the 45-metre line. It's time to shoot, but he elects to pass it to Stephen Gilroy. That ball's going over the top, and Stephen Gilroy's breaking inside here, now going to fist the ball, and it's going over the bar.
That was a good score, actually. Oisin Smith showed great strength to move that ball on as well, and it was a great ball over the top.
Flated ball, just over the head of the defender.
Perfect for your corner forward or full forward. They want to see that ball just landing in at the right place. And fair play to Stephen. He could have probably went on and went for a goal, but he took his point, fisted point, so fair play.
5 points to 1 as we approach 15 minutes. We're going to have our water break soon. That is probably the first kick out from Erne Gaels. It's gone cleanly to hand. It was picked up by number 5, who is Oren Johnson, and as the play develops, it's now a free to Erne Gaels going forward. I think it is a free to Erne Gaels. I was looking at James Lewis's, the way he was signalling there. So we have a free, and it's now kicked back to the hands of Dara Keown. 2-3 Derrygonnelly players in there, but Dara Keown, no one immediately coming to put him under pressure, kicking the ball in high, and that's Seamus Ryder's in there with Tiernan Daly. Wins that ball well over Tiernan Daly. He was pulled back, and now it's been ruled as a free in for... Yeah, it seems to be... Well, James Lewis is moving in. I don't see Seamus Ryder moving in anyway, but it's a free anyway. Oh, he is calling it in now. He's calling it in now.
Somebody
Seamus
must
Ryder
have said something straight away.
Yeah, well, if Seamus Ryder had got away there, he caught that ball well over the head of Tiernan Daly. So it's now a free in, and it's looking like Ronan Cox is lining up to take this free.
Yeah.
21 mid-line shoot, the right-footed kicker anyway.
Probably Tiernan in front of his man, as you would coach every defender to be, and Ryder probably just nudged him a wee bit to win that.
Yeah, used his body well, so that brings it now 5 points to 2. That's the diplomatic way of saying that, Anita. So it is a kick out from Jack Kelly. It's been broken down in there. It's one there. Erne Gaels have a chance to break forward here. It's Ronan Cox who just kicked that point, gives it over to Tommy McCaffrey. 2-3 Erne Gaels players running with him, but Tommy McCaffrey's breaking in his left foot. Now it gives it to Barry McCann. Barry McCann slips but picks it up, turning inside, bounces the ball. He's got 2 players in support there, fists it back. Ronan Cox Derrygonnelly have a good defensive wall here now, but Declan Cassidy with a good strong hand in breaks the ball from Stephen Ryder, and we now have Derrygonnelly with a chance to counter attack. That has been ruled to be a free to Derrygonnelly as the ball dropped in there. Garvin Jones seems to be failed. Now Declan Cassidy has it, going to take it short, and that's Micheál Glynn, I would imagine, over there in the 45 metre line. Gives it nice fist pass anyway, but Declan Cassidy, they weren't able to pick it up. Now that brings us to 16 and a half minutes played, and I would imagine that it's not our water break yet. Erne Gaels probably seem to be wanting to continue with the play because they were getting a bit of momentum building up there. Dara Keown going forward there. Looks Seamus Ryder, Tiernan Daly's laying on the back of him, but the referee's playing advantage at Seamus Ryder with Dara Keown, who has continued on in his run, and Shane Rooney's in there looking for the ball. He has it on the inside ball to Dara Keown, who's breaking inside 2 tackles, but well tackled. That ball was taken out of him, and now it's been picked up by Tiernan Daly, who gives it over to his number 5, who is Lee Jones, and Derrygonnelly have a chance to attack at Stephen McGullion without anyone immediately coming towards him, but he's given it over to his corner forward, who is Gavin McGovern. Gives it back to McGullion, and now it's in the hands of Micheál Glynn in and around midfield with 2 players in support, and one of those is the centre half back. Gives it to Stephen Gilroy, who didn't immediately call for the mark, but the referee blew it for him and
got the ball stopped and then put his hand up.
Stephen Gilroy with this shot in the right foot's probably going to go wide, I would think. Yeah.
Looking at that Erne Gaels attack up there, Tiernan Daly in all sorts of problems again. This time was behind Seamus Ryder, as you rightly said. He was probably on top of him, but that ball in, it's just a wee bit too slow coming in again because it got congested. I think it was Lee Jones managed to get the ball out eventually, so Erne Gaels probably going to have to think a wee bit different about how they approach this. Are they going to shoot from distance, or are they going to try and thread the ball through?
From that kick out, it's been won again. I'd like to see the stats for the amount of turnovers Derrygonnelly have won from the Erne Gaels defence. Stephen Gilroy, who won that ball, he's got a 2-on-1, taking a shot, and that ball has gone over the bar. He had a colleague there who was Gavin McGovern, square in front of the goal, but he elected to take a shot. Brings it to 6 points to 2 as we come to our water break with 18 and a half minutes played.
Yeah, Stephen Gilroy probably, if he'd have took another 4 steps, he could have banged that down low hard into the corner, but he took his point. Gavin McGovern crying on the edge of the square probably for it as well, but I suppose look at Derrygonnelly be happy going in at the water break 6-2. It probably breaks a bit of the momentum as well, unfortunately. I don't know what your feelings are on this water break, Kieran. I feel it can work for the team that's struggling. It breaks the momentum of the team that's attacking. I don't know, what do you think?
Well, I suppose if on a warm day I'd be glad for a drink of water, so it's not too bad today. It's the same for both teams. It might work for one team one day, it'll not work the other way. It's in the rules. I suppose it gives a good chance for the managers to have a talk with their players. Even though Erne Gaels had a bit of momentum in that there, I am sure that their management team are going to want to do something to work on their own kick out, because I don't have it in front of me, but I can only remember off the top of my head one clean possession that Erne Gaels picked up from their own kick out in that half.
We won 8 out of 11 according to Statsman Mark McGoldrick here, so there you go. They only won 3 of their own kick-outs, and I think probably Oisin Smith, we talked about it just at the start of the game. Oisin Smith has settled in well in around the middle of the field. He's strong, he's good in the air, and he uses the ball well, he moves it on. So him and Muggs are doing very, very well in there, in around the middle, and probably the loss of Michael McGarrigle for Erne Gaels was a bit of a blow in the first minute. So, but yeah, they're probably going to have to think short and try and get a couple of balls to get into that attack sooner rather than overplaying it and elaborating on it. And then
they've played on anyway. Derrygonnelly were slow to come out, and James Lewis isn't hanging about here, so Bleak with a good chance to break up the field. They're sprinting back here now, so they're going to have a chance to set their own defence. But there you go, James Lewis doesn't wait around for anyone, and now it's in the hands of Tommy McCaffrey's breaking forward. He's taken down, but he hasn't given the free.
He is waving for him to get on with it.
Yeah, he's waving for him, and then he's blown it up for over carrying.
McCaffrey's probably hard done by there.
I would think so. But maybe James Lewis, after starting that without waiting for the two teams to come back, so that's something for teams to watch out when the water break starts. It's not when the two teams are ready, it's when the referee's ready.
Yeah, and I suppose that there's a bit of ambiguity about how long the water break lasts. I mean, I seen us in a ladies game, we had about 3 minutes for a water break last week, so it differs from referee to referee, and I suppose both teams now know he's going to be sharp on it.
Yeah. Derrygonnelly are somewhat sluggish in this attack here. It's over in the hands of Micheál Glynn with a chance to break forward, and he has got inside Paul Ward, the fullback, and he's going nicely inside the 21-metre line. Plenty of time to set it on his right foot, and that looks well.
That's a super score from young Glynn, you have to say. He looks
3 points.
He looks like a veteran at this stage, and that's 1, 2, 3 from Micheál Glynn.
3 points from Micheál Glynn, 2 from freeze and 1 from play.
Yeah, that was super. He was so confident coming through there. He dropped the shoulder a wee bit to get past the 2 defenders and popped it over nice and calmly. He's a super footballer.
Brian Ryder with this kick out as we approach nearly 20 minutes played in our first half. That's been in between Eamon McHugh and Oran Johnson. Eamon McHugh had won that, but Erne Gaels now picked it up. They're doing slightly better on the running kick outs here. Now it's with Oisin Kelly gives him the high ball in here. Here we go. Seamus Ryder pats it off nicely, and that is to his colleague who was Gareth Deary, and Gareth Deary putting that ball over the bar. So there we go, the first high ball that Seamus Ryder has got inside the 14-metre line. And
yeah, I love to see a high ball in on a full forward. I really do, because it can create absolute chaos. And you know, sometimes we're a wee bit fed up of watching this patient build up along the 45. So fair play to Ryder there. Well
fielded by Stephen McGullin with a beautiful ball in Stephen Gilroy, but he was well dispossessed by the full-back, who is Paul Ward. 2 kicks, and Derrygonnelly were certainly inside the 21-metre line for Erne Gaels, but that dispossession is done well, because now Erne Gaels are getting a chance to break out from their field. James Lewis blowing the free. Someone was been held back, but as of yet we're still not entirely sure who it was. Seems to be talking to Garvin McGinley.
He thinks he has blood maybe in his mouth. He seems to be indicating a blood sub of some description.
Or possibly a gum shield.
Yeah, maybe a gum shield, that might be it. He was pointing to the mouth. I have to say, Erne Gaels, the 2 attacks that they've launched so far, they've been a wee bit more determined and a wee bit more pace in their pressure. So
from that freeze with Gareth Deary, who's put another ball over the bar, that's a good chance for, it was a gum shield. I was just looking at Garvin McGinley there. Brings the score 6 points to 4.
7 points to 4.
7 points to 4, beg your pardon. Now,
both those 2 attacks have shown Erne Gaels really going at Derrygonnelly with pace, and probably that's what they have to do for the whole game.
Garvin McGinley winning that ball, kicks it forward to Stephen McGullion, and Barry McCann trying to give that back. It's gone past his immediate defender, but it's been picked up by Ben McCann, and goalkeeper Brian Ryder with plenty of time to pick the ball up, looking for a bit of support over there, but without anyone immediately coming for it. Jack McCann now has it, and he's breaking outside, looking to get past the 45-metre line, gives it off to Tommy McCaffrey, who spins away from 2 tackles, and he's getting away from the third one, but Garvin Jones putting an end to that. Now Eamon McHugh picks it up, he's giving it to it's come back as far as Stephen McGullion, puts it high. It's going in and around, but I think it's going to go wide.
There's a lot of air on that. It went very high, but again, Tomas McCaffrey in his own half back line, and if I was an Erne Gaels supporter, I'd be saying we want Tomas McCaffrey on the attacking half forward line rather than defending on the half back line. So you know, if that's what it takes for Erne Gaels to win the ball, you know, he's a massive player. He needs to be in the attacking area.
Another kick out from Brian Ryder, and it's been picked up again by the Derrygonnelly forwards. That fist pass did not go to his man, and Tommy McCaffrey in there snipes and picks it up, gives it to his midfield colleague Ronan Cox, who puts a nice ball in front of Stephen Rooney, gives it over back to Cox, and he has a chance to give Paul McCaffrey, who's breaking forward, no one in support of him. He's got fisting it over to his corner back. Not immediately happy to take the shot, but Ben McCann spins around nicely, his left foot puts it over, and that's 7 points to 5.
Yeah, it's a good score from Ben McCann, you have to say. Shane Rooney done well to get the quick ball moved up, but fair play to McCann. It looked like the score wasn't on, but he took it.
Short kick out picked up by Aidan McKenna, who's breaking outside his own 45-metre line. Shane Rooney seems to be the closest person coming towards him. McKenna looking for support, gives it back to his corner back, who is Jack Love, and Jack Love with Tiernan Daly putting an overlap here, breaking forward. That leaves Seamus Ryder free, so I'm sure they're going to plug that gap very quickly. Declan Cassidy on that far stand side of the field, breaking inside the 45-metre line, gives a nice ball, lovely one bounce in front of Stephen Gilroy. He's picked up a lot of ball in that first half, gives it back to Micheál Glynn on the left foot, and that has gone wide.
It's gone wide. It was maybe a kind of a speculative shot from Glynn down next to the stand side near the sideline.
He'd plenty of time, so I wouldn't begrudge the lad for taking that there.
It's
because
a super ball in though in front of Gilroy. You have to say he's getting plenty of ball today.
Brian Ryder with that, plenty of support on it now. Tommy McCaffrey going in there, wins it in front of Oisin Smith, and Eamon McHugh was there as well, taking that mark. Now it's back with Tommy McCaffrey again. He seems to be everywhere. Eamon McHugh picking that ball up, and he was fouled by Tommy McCaffrey again. So he's been in the action 3 times in about 15 seconds.
Yeah, well, I see Lewis is moving the ball forward now because McCann wouldn't get out of Eamon's way, but definitely around the middle there, Erne Gaels are beginning to kind of get stuck in for them dirty break balls. Glynn has put this ball down now. It's probably maybe 50 yards out. Whether he's going to put it on the ground.
Looking at the flag right in front of me, the breeze seems to be blowing with him, so it'll be interesting to see. He's going to take this from the hands. No, he's going to take it from the ground. Sets it up, so this gives Micheál Glynn a chance to go for his 4th point. 2 from free so far and 1 from play. This is not suitable for the left-footed kicker, but he's going to try and bend it back in. Going well, but I think it's going to go wide.
It's drifted wide. Had probably the distance, but not the accuracy, sadly. And Lewis is blowing here. I don't know what he's blowing at. He seems to be
calling someone forward. It is not entirely sure, but he's calling
number
someone.
7, I think, because he was standing in front of Glynn as he took the free. Number 7's Paul McCaffrey. So is he looking for the free to be took again? I think he is. Mightn't have been the 13
take it again. Right, take 2 for Micheál Glynn. Going to be taken from the hands this time. As he lines up.
It's well inside the 45 now. Must have been from where McCaffrey was standing. Must be where Lewis is giving it from. So here we go.
No mistake this time.
Yeah, good man.
Yeah, that's over the bar.
That was a nicely taken free, I have to say. But Erne Gaels would be kicking themselves at giving that away. It's given a 3-point lead now. A real let up there from Erne Gaels to give the kicker the second option. And it's not many referees that spot that either, so fair play to James Lewis.
Well, do it once and you'll not generally have to do it again. Brian Ryder setting the ball out, looks to guide it out towards his wing half-back, but Eamon McHugh picks that up nicely, putting the ball inside, and the defender fumbled it, but picks it up the second time. Barry McCann's here, free right in front of us, wouldn't but that he kept it in. He kept it in just in front of us here. So Barry McCann breaking inside. Stephen McGullion was able to fend him off. Now he's giving that ball over to Jack McCann, changing the point of the attack, and that high ball into Stephen Ryder, going to test his pace. But Tiernan Daly's got in front, goes to ground, and Ryder's got it off him again. He's inside the 21 metre line, over on the far stand side of the field. Now we have a shot coming in here. I think that was Gareth Derry, who's had 2 points in a row there, but that has gone wide. There was a bit of contact in there between Michael Jones and Paul McCaffrey. James Lewis has told McCaffrey to get up and go ahead, and now as Jack Kelly takes that kick, there was definitely someone inside the 21 metre line, and James Lewis is going to blow that as a throw up.
Yeah, I think we know now that Lewis is a stickler, but probably this maybe sets the tone now for the players that they know there's to be no mess in here, and I think he's going to throw the ball up. Ryder done very well, I have to say, Kieran. Ryder done brilliantly down that ball corner to get it off, because Tiernan was in front of him, he was down over the ball, and Ryder just flicked it up. It's the kind of thing you'd love to see.
A good old-fashioned pickpocket, so it was.
And the ball that came in from Derry, McCaffrey was mooching in around that corner, so was a dangerous enough ball.
From that throw-up ball, Derrygonnelly breaking out. There's 2, 4, 5 men, and it's in the hands of number 5, who is Lee Jones. Powerful run, gives it to Declan Cassidy, who is looking for someone in the inside. Him, McHugh's making a good run. There's no one immediately near him, but he looks to give it to Micheál Glynn, who was dispossessed. Tommy McCaffrey put a good tackle in there. Ben McCann picks it up, gives it back to Tommy McCaffrey, and now Tommy is going forward. He's immediately, his options aren't that numerous, but he's won a free. He'll give him a chance to get a few more. He did, picked it up very nicely.
Super.
Gives it to Gareth Derry, who's done quite well from his come on for Michael O'Mcgarrigle. Now it's in the hands of Ben McCann. Ben McCann, who did get a point earlier on in this game, looks to give it to Ronan Cox, who scored as well. Now it's Stephen Rooney, who turns inside. Jack Love looks to fist that ball on, and it has been adjudged that he was being pulled back. I think that is Oisin Smith, who's picking himself up from the ground, who was the closest person to Stephen Rooney on that, and that leaves Erne Gaels with a free on the 13 metre line, perfectly angled for a left-footed kick, and it looks like Stephen Rooney Sheehan Rooney himself, who's going to take that kick, and he puts it over the bar to bring it to 8 points to 6.
Yeah, and that was it. Rooney made a good run in there, and I suppose Smith had no other option but to take him down maybe, but definitely when the ball goes in front of Shane Rooney, he can cause bother.
Jack Kelly giving the ball out nicely to Eamon McHugh. Paul McCaffrey wasn't able to get a hand on there. Now Eamon McHugh has got away well. He's took 3-4 solos, gives it to Garvin Jones, who goes to ground. He's got injured, so they're going to have to stop the game for that.
Yeah, probably the one thing I would say from watching that is, Derrygonnelly were coming through there. Eamon McHugh was coming through at pace with the ball, passed it on to Garvin Jones, and Garvin ran into trouble. He ran into traffic. He had the option to flick it out, a wee short hand pass and move the thing on, and he ran into trouble. Now he's got a wee knock on the head, maybe from one of the Blake boys' legs or something, but this is a feature that we're seeing, and we were seeing it in the first 15 minutes with Erne Gaels, running into traffic, running into trouble instead of hitting the ball in long. So probably Garvin Jones hasn't really got his hands on the ball a lot during the game today, because the ball seems to be going over the top in front of Stephen Gilroy and Gavin McGovern. So he's up on his feet now and he's alright, which is good to see.
And the ball's in the hand of Stephen McGullion, who seems to be going to take this free. It's an indirect one, so I don't think he can score from it. Gives it over to, I think that's Gavin McGovern, who's bouncing the ball, coming out tight to get an angle for the right footed kicker. Now it's with Garvin Jones. Lee Jones now bounces it immediately, gives it over to his centre half back colleague, who was Aidan McKenna. That ball's very, very high, but it's going to go wide. With as we approach half time, we're just over 30 minutes played. I would say Derrygonnelly will be scratching their head to wonder how are they only 2 points in front.
Yeah, I mean, Derrygonnelly have had the majority of the play, and I suppose that's disappointing. The number of wides they've hit, I'd say it probably wouldn't, there have a lot of wides there. I think this last ball, this final ball that's going in, a lot of the lads are nearly looking for the perfect ball that's going in instead of maybe taking their shot from distance. Glyn there can kick the ball from 45 yards very, very easily and should be doing so. Instead of trying to thread this wee ball through and running into trouble, Erne Gaels in the second quarter have really got their act together, and they're bringing Ryder and Rooney into a lot more. McCaffrey and McCann are coming through a lot more as well. So definitely, I have to say, very impressed with Erne Gaels, how they finished that half, how they came out from the water break and attacked Derrygonnelly. But you're dead right, Kieran. I'd say Brendan and Big Sean are down there giving the hairdryer treatment right now, because there's only 2 points in it.
Well, seeing as they're so close, I think we'll take a break because we don't want to get any of that taken into our broadcast. So thanks very much for that, Nita. We'll be back for the second half. Just one moment to mention our sponsors for this broadcast today, who is Monaghan Brothers. So we thank Monaghan Brothers for their continued support in this year. We're going to take a break for in half time. After that, Pádraig McGorn will be joining me to discuss the results of the other games in round 2. reaction on that after.
Yeah, I suppose Division 1 first of all. Erne Gaels 111, Benelec 1-7, Erne 112, Canoli 2-4, Rossley 210, Devonish 16 points, and Tempo 12 points, Irvinstown 12 points.
My initial reaction on that there is Anthony 2 wins from 2 and quite a commanding victory in that game against Canoli. 5 points they had to spare after giving Rossley a bit of a trouncing last week as well. So 2 wins from 2 is a good start for Anthony.
Certainly is, and their first 3 home games are all at the Dromore pitch, including this Wednesday night's game, which should be a big one, against Derrygonnelly Harps in Dromore. But yeah, I see Paul McCusker kicked 5 points and Erne McGee kicked the goal. So Erne seem to be coming along nicely on 2 wins from 2. And I suppose with that is Erne Gaels as well with another win.
After a draw, snatch and grab against
Irvinstown. That was a
Irvinstown.
fantastic score from Callum Jones last week, I must say. But John Rehill got the goal today, and another impressive win by the looks of it again Colin Bradley's Benelec.
Yeah, Benelec had a victory over, they beat Erne Gaels last weekend, so 111 to 1-7, that's Erne Gaels with 3 points now. Tempo, who were defeated by Derrygonnelly, have got a chance to get a point on the board. That draw with Irvinstown, from what I seen against Irvinstown, they played very well last week, so I would think that the Tempo management will be quite happy to eke out a draw in that game.
Yeah, but looks of it, Lorcan McStravick was unbelievable here last week, not 12. And by the looks of it today, he kicked 2 late scores again, 14-man Irvinstown. So I think we all know how good Lorcan McStravick is, and once again Tempo have a fantastic player in their hands there to draw with Irvinstown.
In Division 2, Porrick?
I was actually at this one myself. Belcoo 13 points, Co 110. Dorn McQuaid got a very early goal, but through the likes of Paul McGrath and Kieran Flaherty, they slowly eked them back, and it was substitute Chrissy Leonard was fouled late on, and McAloon put over a late free for Shane McCabe to get a share of the spoils there for Belcoo. Lisnaskey 111, Newtown Butler 113. Probably maybe worrying times already for Peter Clark's side. Played 2, lost 2. Newtown Butler were well ahead at half time through a Jordan Warren goal, but through the likes of Sean Keenan, Lisnaskey slowly clawed their way back in, but Newtown Butler just done enough there. Doylin 2-7, Maguires Bridge 0-13. Aidan Gilroy seems to be doing something special with Doylin. There's a lot of good young players coming up through Doylin at the moment, so it's good to see Doylin slowly getting back on track. And with Maguires Bridge, we all know about the likes of Kieran Corrigan and Daniel Haig, so
they followed up their victory over Lisnaskey last week with a draw, so that's 3 points from possible 4 in the hands of Maguires Bridge. Yeah. Other games that were played as well, Porrick?
I suppose once again you're talking about managers making a mark already. Pat Cadden, Adam C 112, Brookborough 8 points. Dale Cudden got another goal, and I see Eddie Courtney kicked 0-3, so Adam C could surprise a few this year, and I know they've Devonish in the long grass in the intermediate championship, but Brookborough, it's played 2, lost 2, and you know it's annoying for the Brookborough lads, but lastly
they're concentrating on the championship, I think.
Yeah, Timor 17 points, St Patrick's Donagh 8 points, so Timor 2 wins from 2, probably as expected, and Donagh just defeat, so they've only 1 point from 4 at the moment.
Yeah, Timor are kind of a yo-yo club this last while, up one, down one. When they go down to Division 2, they pull together a string of fantastic performances, really, and they're a formidable outfit, and that is 9-point victory over Donagh. They've plenty to spare. And our final game?
Well, I suppose just really looking at the league table then, Timor on 4 points, Adam C and Doylin with 3 points apiece, and then a lot of sides there mixed with different scoring, but probably the pick of the result probably there today was probably Newtown Butler's win away to Lisnaskey, their neighbours.
Yeah, and we'll leave it at that, Porrick, as I see referee James Lewis is starting second half, so thanks very much for that, Porrick, and keep your eye to the Fermanagh website for all the latest tables. That from immediately from the kick out, Erne Gaels were able to pick up the possession. That long ball didn't come to anything, and now Jack Kelly has a chance to kick the ball out. Gives a high ball in there, but Erne Gaels are fighting hard for it. That been broke down now. Barry McCann breaking forward inside his 45-metre line. High ball from the right foot, plenty of air, and it looks good from here.
Good score there, and probably number 17 there, Kel McGeehan, in winning the dirty ball and laying it off nice. It was a good score there from McCann, so that leaves it a 1 point game. I don't think there's any subs in either team that I can see coming on at half time there.
So you're welcome back to our coverage here. Jack Kelly with another high kick out. Tommy McCaffrey picked it up, who's had a very good, Barry McCann even, lovely ball into Seamus Ryder with that, who catches it in front of Tiernan Daly. Very hard to know for Tiernan Daly, what does he do? Does he stay in front or stay behind?
Yeah, probably he was behind for the ball at the end of the first half and won it, and then was robbed, and then when Ryder's in front he's so physically imposing. It's very difficult to kind of win a ball off him there, and he pointed that free as well, so that's a level game. Yeah, 2 points apiece.
Quick fire points from Erne Gaels in this start of the second half. It's hardly 2 minutes old. Jack Kelly with a high ball going out. We had that James Lewis judges that to have been a free, but I think from what I could see, the two Erne Gaels boys were standing in front of each other.
Yeah.
Ronan Cox with that gives it to his wing half back colleague, who is Oren Johnson, breaking forward inside the Derrygonnelly half of the field. Paul McCaffrey's over there now. Erne Gaels are breaking forward in a wave. That's another high ball into Seamus Ryder, who gives a nice fist pass. Gareth Deary breaking in for that, breaks away from 2 tackles. He's got a chance here. He had Seamus Ryder, who was free, gives that ball plenty of air, and it has adjudged to go wide from the umpire, but Gareth Deary's down here, so he's going to need a bit of attention. Again,
Ryder, the high ball in front of him is giving bother. Now Daly, I thought, done well. He maybe got the fist from behind him to punch the ball out, but it landed at Deary's hands, and you know, he had a go there. And Deary is down, but we'll see how this pans out. But yeah, it's not impossible, you know, as a full back, it's nearly impossible to mark a big lad. You know yourself with Rosslea.
You'd want one behind and one in front.
Yeah, and even then you probably wouldn't win the ball cleanly. So Daly probably did the right thing, coming from behind to try and fist the ball through the hands of Ryder, but it landed for Deary there. But very, very difficult to mark somebody, and don't worry, Ryder's experienced enough too to win the ball.
So Gareth Deary is still down, getting a bit of treatment here, and Jack Kelly's lining up his kick. It's going to take a couple of minutes for. He seems to have a foot injury. Seems to be his ankle. He must have went over on his ankle as he was kicking that ball. There was definitely plenty of
an awkward kind of a kick. He was nearly, you know, pulling himself away from it as he kicked it. He's up on his feet.
He's up and going again.
Good to see.
Jack Kelly with the kick out as our second half is about 2 minutes old. That's a high ball breaking inside to the 45-metre line. Stephen McGullion drops it down to Garvin Jones, who has a support runner, who is Lee Jones, going forward at great pace. He has Micheál Glynn over there, gives it back to Garvin Jones, and going to want that in the left foot. Now it's back with Micheál Glynn. He's over on that far stand side of the field. Erne Gaels had plenty of support over there, but he's managed to thread a good ball through. Garvin Jones sells a dummy, and Barry McCann bought it, giving it over to Eamon McHugh. With that shot, has gone wide. Within a blink of an eye, Derrygonnelly turned that attack from being over in the corner to a goal chance.
And it was a goal chance, and Eamon would be very disappointed that he wasn't able to pull the trigger properly on that. But again, Derrygonnelly moved the ball down the field at pace, got to the half forward line, and then what do? They go out to the corner and they slow the thing down. Now Garvin Jones did thread himself through and found the space and ran through and gave a very good ball across. But by God, it's frustrating to watch when a team attacks at pace and then just slows the thing down.
Much like how the first half started with Derrygonnelly with a goal chance, but this 45, there's quite a lot of confusion as to what happened. It was taken short by Micheál Glynn, but James Lewis told him to take it again, so he's lining it up. It is going to suit the left-footed kicker because it's only about 2 or 3 metres to the side of it, so he's going to have a good angle lining in to swipe this here. As I look at the flags, they're all dead in front of me. Micheál Glynn with that gets good elevation, but it's going to go wide in his own side. So Derrygonnelly haven't got out of the traps just yet, as the score remains 8 points apiece.
Yeah, and Glynn had plenty of distance on that. It was just slightly probably to the right of the post and wide, but Lewis is blowing it up again.
Yeah, much like he did in the first half, we had a Derrygonnelly and Erne Gaels defender inside the 21-metre line, inside the D, and James Lewis spots that, and he's blowing it for a free up. or a throw up.
He's throwing the ball up here between McGullion and Cox.
McGullion wins it with one hand, goes up, goes to ground, but he's looking to get back to his feet. Cox does well to do that there, and as the pass is kicked backwards, Erne Gaels picks it up, and now it is the number, it's one of their wing half backs who was picking that ball up. Nathan McKenna was stopping him, but the referee judged that to be illegal, and now it's Oisin Kellam as he breaks forward. He's got two players inside and beside us, gives it to Ronan Cox. Ronan Cox breaking it at the 45 metre line. He's got Shane Rooney one side, and he has Seamus Reid to the other side, but as he went to ground, looked to fist backs the ball back, and he is adjudged to have been fouled by referee James Lewis, which gives Erne Gaels free in about 3 or 4 metres inside the 45 metre line, and it looks like Ronan Cox, who's picking himself up, dusting himself down, and is ready to take this free.
Yeah, very disappointing there for Derrygonnelly that Stephen McGullion was in front of the goals and just fist passed the ball straight out to Gareth Deary, who gave it on to Kelm. Short free here.
It's Gareth Deary who's picking that inside the 13 metre line, gives it back now. It's in the hands of Oran Johnson, who's gone back to Ronan Cox. Erne Gaels have lost a bit of momentum here now because they were moving forward, but now they're quickly turned back. Oisin Smith picks that up. Eamon McHugh's breaking off him, and he's also got Micheál Glynn, who is running hard and running strong. He's in the 21 metre line with the left foot, and that ball's going over the bar. So Erne Gaels had an attacking option there. It was confusion as to what they were seeming to do. Derrygonnelly broke it down, and with a powerful run from Micheál Glynn, gets the ball over the bar, restores the lead for Derrygonnelly, 9 points to 8 in this second half.
Glynn done very well there. His run through was very, very strong. He had the option of popping it out to the left hand side to Garvin Jones, but he opted to take his own score, and why not?
That's a well directed kick out from Brian Ryder. He's found Barry McCann on that far side of the field, who has picked the ball up coming inside here. He's given it to Dara Keown, who's his full forward. Barry McCann now with giving it to Ben McCann, his brother. That ball slips past Ben, but he wasn't able to pick it up. Now it's Mickey Jones just going into that there under pressure, and Ben McCann, Tommy McCaffrey's there as well. He's under a lot of pressure. Didn't see a free, to be honest, but Mickey Jones has it now, gives it over to Lee Jones, as we see Declan Cassidy is looking for a bit of seems to be getting a bit of treatment here. Garvin Jones with that ball gives it to Lee Jones on the edge of the D, and Garvin Jones, as he runs across the D, looking on the left foot, he had the advantage, but he takes it himself, left footed shot over the bar, and now the scoreline is 10 points to 8.
Yeah, it's a terrific score there from Garvin Jones, who showed a little bit of pace when the ball, played a nice 1-2 with Lee and popped it over. A great score, and it maybe gives a wee bit of breathing space now to the Harps. 2 points up.
Yeah, all Erne Gaels' hard work at the start of this half's just been wiped out.
It has been just undone. Looks to be a head injury there for number 7 is McCaffrey, isn't it? Paul McCaffrey. The kick out from Brian Ryder, plenty of air, and Paul McCaffrey was waiting on that. Seems to be someone come over and has hit him in the back of the head. Yeah, well, he had a sandwich there with McGullion and McHugh. That's a bow sandwich for you, and I'll tell you, that's a hardy one for you.
You want right jaws to get through that. Now, Stephen McGullion is looking. He has the ball here. Gives it to Eamon McHugh. Has it back. Paul McCaffrey goes to ground. Now it's in the hands of Michael Jones. Goal chance here. Passes it over to Gavin McGovern. Gavin McGovern turns back inside. Gets that ball over the bar. Now we're at 11 points to 8.
Yeah, and the ball in through, probably if Gavin had maybe put the head down and backed himself, he could have had a shot on goal, but there was 2 Erne Gaels defenders around him. But again, good ball in there. Mickey Jones made the run through the middle, corner back, and was able to thread the ball through. We have a substitution coming on here now. We've Ronan McHugh, another of the St Michael's contingent, coming
Declan
on,
Cassidy,
and looks like Declan Cassidy. Declan has been looking for a wee bit of treatment now for a while. He's been over twice to the physio, so a good shift from Declan Cassidy, I have to say. I mean, he's been in around the middle of the field there with Eamon McHugh winning them dirty balls and dirty breaks, but
he'll be a wanting later on in the year, I would think, so there's no need to.
He's the same fella, doesn't like to be wrapped up in cotton wool either, but Ronan McHugh's, he's tough, and he'll be well fit for whatever's thrown at him as well here.
Under it, McHugh, under it!
Brian Ryder with that kick out, and it was battling between Oisin Smith and Ronan Cox. Tommy McCaffrey comes in. Tommy McCaffrey's quite a good game in this. He's got four Derrygonnelly players, but he skips away from them all now. Ronan McHugh just come on, trying to put pressure on Tommy McCaffrey. Lovely ball into Ryder, who was trying to hold off Tiernan Daly, but Tiernan Daly was able to get that ball, gives it nicely to Aidan McKenna. Now Aidan McKenna has got Stephen McGullion here as well. He breaks inside Ben McCann, and there's gives it over to Ryan, or to Garvin Jones, beg pardon, who gives that to Lee Jones, and Stephen McGullion breaking inside the 45-metre line, running powerful, gives it back to Aidan McKenna, goes to ground but gets a nice clear off to Gavin McGinley. Stephen McGullion breaks inside that tackle, he's going to go for a goal here,
Jesus.
And he's got it.
What a strike from Stephen McGullion, probably the last man you'd think that would bury the ball. It looked like the point was on, he looked safe, but you're dead right about Tommy McCaffrey. Tommy McCaffrey is just so industrious and he's working. He robbed a ball there in the middle of the field from Oisin Smith that he had absolutely no right to rob off him. Came through maybe 30 yards with four Derrygonnelly men on him, and you know, you feel sorry for guys like Tommy McCaffrey. You know, lose the ball and Derrygonnelly go up the field, bang, back of the net. A great taking goal from Stephen McGullion.
He was running forward, he had support there, but he got round that tackle of there was a defender in front of him, he got round that, and then he was able to blast that ball to the net. Leaves 6 points between the teams now, 111 to 8 points, and Derrygonnelly looking for more scores here. It was Garvin Jones who was tackled. James Lewis was blown advantage, no advantage accruing, so it's now been blown in as a free in for Derrygonnelly on that far side of the field. Micheál Glynn has got it in his hands, who is going to be taking this just on the edge of the D, on, as I say, on that far side of the field. This is a chance to put 7 points between the teams now then, because it's 111 to 8 as we speak. So Micheál Glynn lining this ball up.
That's a wide ball.
It looks like it's going to go wide. Yeah, that ball has gone wide, so
someone will have to be sent into the muck to get that. He had plenty of air on it. It's very uncharacteristic of him.
Erne Gaels going to want to win a ball here very soon to get themselves back into this game. It's Brian Ryder who puts it out to Tommy McCaffrey of all people. Wasn't able to get it now. It was Michael Jones who's got that, looking to go forward. He was given advantage by referee James Lewis, and the free has been blown. Eamon McHugh taking that. I think that is Lee Jones over there, breaking inside the 45-metre line. Erne Gaels are starting to go very, very far back
very
into
deep.
their own half.
Yeah, very deep.
Not putting much pressure on the runners as they're going through now. It's Aidan McKenna with the right-footed shot, and Derrygonnelly are opening a substantial gap at this stage. We're at 112 to 8 points, which is with 12 and a half minutes played.
Yeah, and McKenna again coming through the middle, and nobody challenged him at all, despite Erne Gaels having maybe 12, 13 men back in their own half-back line. He had a free shot, and you know, he had to go for it. He went for one in the first half and it went horribly wide from him. So probably Mickey Jones is down here. That little tussle that he had with Tommy McCaffrey seems to have given him a bit of bother, so we probably might see a substitute coming on here shortly for Derrygonnelly, but Mickey tries to run it off. But again, Mickey Jones coping well with Tommy McCaffrey's pace there.
High ball out from Brian Ryder. It seems to be a bit of a scrum in and around the 40 in the midfield. Now it's come out from the free to Ronan McHugh. He gives it over to Stephen McGullion. He got that goal about 5 minutes ago now. Ronan McHugh is going forward, passes it over to Stephen Gilroy on the swing on the right foot, and that has gone wide.
Yeah, be disappointed there in Ronan McHugh. The space opened up in front of me. He should have took his own shot when he had it, instead of hitting this ball into a man that's 5 yards in front of him to take the score. You know, have a go, you know, good enough footballer to put it over the bar, you know. But yeah, Erne Gaels, the kick out is still giving them bother. They're not winning their own kick outs here.
This one here is in between Oisin Smith and Barry McCann. Barry McCann with a wonderful take, looking to take it quickly. He's got Shane Rooney on that far side of the field. He's got away from his defenders, Jack Love. Rooney looking to break inside. Seamus Ryder's in there ominously, but those two second man tackling that, was that Eamon McHugh that tackled Shane Rooney there illegally, according to James Lewis.
Got the slap in, but probably held himself in too long as well. But again, when the ball's played out, that, you know, horizontal ball across the field to Shane Rooney, he is out in front of Jack Love there, and as you say, the ominous Ryder in on the edge of the square. You know, Erne Gaels are, you know, they're still going at it, and they have to keep attacking here. They have to keep driving.
Shane Rooney with that free with the left foot. He was nicely placed in front of the goals, gives Erne Gaels a chance to close in on the Derrygonnelly lead, and the scoreline now reads 112 to 9 points as referee James Lewis. A couple of players seem to be looking for a water break, but he tells them to play on. And it's Jack Kelly taking that kick, a high ball out between Barry McCann and Stephen McGullion. Barry McCann got his hand to it, and
He seems to be calling Barry McCann over. He's given Barry McCann a yellow card. That's 10 minutes in the
10
bin.
minutes in the sin bin.
I'm not quite sure what that was for, and to be honest, Kieran was right in front of me.
Yeah, I was right in front.
I didn't see what it was for at all. It looked to be a 50-50 ball.
Yeah, I don't really know. It couldn't have been pushing because Barry McCann was in front. That's a
It's
mystery.
only a yellow card, so he doesn't get a sin bin. Am I right? I may have made a mistake there, Kieran.
Yeah, no, he is. He's in bin.
No, he's not. He's there. He's there.
Oh, he's still there. Oh, not so bad.
That was my mistake.
As we go ahead anyway, the play is with the hands of, that was a ball been threaded forward, but Jack McCann got a hand in there now.
Well,
There's 3-4 Erne Gaels players with an opportunity to break
Owen
out. There's
Johnson
number
here in
5
the
Owen
wing.
Johnson. Barry McCann's there as well. That fist pass was not good. Owen Johnson has got it. He kicks the
block.
ball straight into Tiernan Daly, and referee James Lewis blows that. James Ryder looking to take it quick, and Tiernan Daly blocked that. I would imagine James is going to take that. The referee James Lewis is going to take that ball forward.
Yeah, that was a definite pull there from Ronan McHugh on Owen Johnson there, as Owen had a terrific block there from Lee Jones, but the pull on the jersey from Ronan McHugh, and now the referee has moved the ball in.
And that ball's in the net from Seamus Ryder. Referee
Oh, I
James
know.
Lewis is blowing his whistle, so I presume he's going to take it back.
What is he doing? Is he giving it?
No, I think he is. I imagine he's going to give it.
Yeah, it's a water break now, so I think that's
Water
the end
break
of that
now,
quarter.
so we'll find out, depending on what happens with the ball after, as the restart happens, we'll find out what's happened. That's the score line now, 112 to 9 points.
112 to 9, but we don't know whether that goal stood or not.
112 to 1. Well, we'll question the one for the goal for Erne Gaels. We'll be able to clear that up.
Yeah, it looked like that he had moved the ball
I
in.
think it is. I think it is going to.
Yeah,
Well,
looked like he had moved the ball. The free that Johnson had won here, Ryder stood over it. It looked like he moved it further in, and look at that's the full forward. That's the forwards. They get a sniff of it at all, and he went for it. A super low shot to the bottom right hand corner.
be interesting to see how long this water breaks last. Gives after the last one, Erne Gaels are immediately moving back out onto the field. It was very quickly, but referee James Lewis is standing out there. He
Yeah,
seems to be
probably
talking to Seamus Ryder. So we're going.
And if you were Erne Gaels, this water break has come just completely at the wrong time, because if that goal stands, and we think it does, again it breaks the whole momentum. I don't see what's wrong with having a couple of Mayorushkas around the field and throwing on the bottles of water as fellas need it. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. I just...
Right. Bit of confusion, but we'll figure it out soon. I think
Yeah,
it
it's
is
a
a
goal
goal.
kick,
Yeah,
so
it is a
that
goal.
goal
Looking at the
stands,
way
yeah.
Jack Kelly's setting this ball up, so that goal will mark it down to Seamus Ryder. So that's halfway through the second half, and the scoreline is 112 to 1-9. High ball out here. Ronan Cox going for it. Shane Rooney's down there. Jack Love seemed to push him in front of us. Ronan Cox now picking that free up. He has got support there. It's Oren Johnson with Tommy McCaffrey there, but he breaks inside that tackle of Mickey Jones, kicks the ball to Garvin Jones. That was a loose sort of a pass over it as far as number 17, who's Oisin Kellam. Now Barry McCann's in there. He's got Oisin Smith for company. Goes to ground, looks to pick it up, kicks it back. Seamus Ryder's there picking the ball up. Stephen McGullion's the first person to him. Tommy McCaffrey there going to stick that with the left foot. I don't think it's going to.
That's a wide
It's going to
ball.
go wide. It was looking good from far, but
It was. You have to say Erne Gaels starting this final quarter the way that they ended the third quarter. They're really going at it now.
short kick out from Jack Kelly, been picked up by Michael Jones. He has got Shane Rooney for company. Gives it over to Garvin Jones on that stand side of the field. Good crowd gathered in there, plenty of cars and plenty of people sitting out, Anita, we can see, and it's Garvin Jones breaking inside there. He had two players for support, but was able to hold them off. Stephen McGullion with a good running, gives it to Stephen Gilroy. Gilroy threads that ball nicely, and they got the second goal for Derrygonnelly, and it opens their lead back out to 6 points.
Yeah, I have to say Garvin Jones done very well there. Looked like he was running into the traffic again and laid the ball off very quickly. Stephen McGullion coming through and threaded that ball over the top. The direct run's hard to beat. We see Kevin Cassidy, the classy veteran, coming on here now for Oisin Smith. doubt the Keys will go to the middle of the field though. There's Garvin Jones now, has moved down around the middle of the field. I thought Oisin Smith had a very good shift there the day, fair play to him.
Kick out here from Brian Ryder, plenty of height. It's in now Seamus Ryder's out to midfield, but that ball was caught by Stephen McGullion, who gives it to Kevin Cassidy. Nice back to McGullion again. Couple of intricate hand passes, and Kevin Cassidy with the left foot puts that ball wide.
Again, Stephen McGullion's direct running is causing Erne Gaels problems there, coming through from the middle of the field. A nice 1-2 there with Kevin Cassidy. It's just a shame the Keys couldn't get that final touch on it, but yeah, definitely you'd be looking around that Derrygonnelly midfield and saying they've dominated that today.
Kick out from Brian Ryder in between two Erne Gaels players, and it was give Stephen McGullion the chance to pick that up. Now he's got Lee Jones on the far side, he's breaking forward. He has got plenty of support over there. Was that Micheál Glynn? Micheál Glynn has it now anyway.
Yeah, Gavin McGovern there earlier.
Kevin Cassidy was met by Paul McCaffrey. Now he's given that in between Paul McHugh and Barry McCann. That was difficult enough ball to pick up, but Ronan McHugh is able to get that now. Kevin Cassidy, nice ball on that far side of the field. I think it's Lee Jones. Plenty of time to settle himself, but that's too much time.
Yeah, and probably Ronan McHugh had made the run through the middle and had found the space, but look at Lee has to take the shot when he gets up there, and you'll never criticise any man that has a go. But definitely McHugh had done well. He had kind of moved across and had made the run through the middle. All it needed was a wee pop past him, but McGullion has completely dominated around the middle here again, and
Erne Gaels can't get a kick out again.
Can't get a kick out, and every attack is coming from Muggs in the middle. There he is again out of the middle, so
gives it nicely into Micheál Glynn, who's had a very good game. He's got Garvin Jones over there. There's an overlap as well. Jones breaks inside the tackle, left foot gonna go. That's gone over the bar, which brings our scoreline to 2-13 to 1-9. 7 points between the teams again.
Yeah, I thought Garvin Jones showed a lot of strength there, howling off two Erne Gaels defenders coming through to take his score. So it's good to see. Erne Gaels are getting back in number, but maybe that strength driving through is helpful.
Kick out again from Brian Ryder's gone. It hasn't gone to his player. That was Stephen Gilroy. Looked to be picking it up. I think he was met in the back from the Erne Gaels defender, who is Podrick Johnson.
Yeah.
Gilroy's back up again.
He's back up again. Probably just knocked him in the back, and he had won the ball cleanly.
Garvin Jones with the free to Eamon McHugh. He has runners inside, turns back to Garvin Jones. McGullion's making a move here towards midfield, but he's given it over there to Micheál Glynn. I would think so. Yeah, it is Micheál Glynn. That's a very high ball, but he's able to get a hand on it. Now it's in the hands of Lee Jones again. Good, so that's up in. That's dangerous ball. Is going to land in around the 21-metre line. That was Gavin McGovern who was going
who's
for it.
taking the ball out of defence for Erne Gaels, only Thomas McCaffrey.
Now Tommy McCaffrey unleashes Seamus Ryder, who's breaking outside his own 45-metre line. Ronan McHugh coming to tackle him. Ryder gives it over to Oisin Kelm, and Oisin Kelm is on his breaking inside the Derrygonnelly half of the field. He's looking for a bit of support. That is Jack McCann who's over there. Gives it back to Oisin Kelm, and now it's over here to Seamus Ryder, who's plenty of time to pick up the ball, but Micheál Glynn is going in to tackle him. Ryder goes through two tackles, starting to break inside the 45-metre line, gives it now to Tommy McCaffrey. Tommy McCaffrey gets away from that tackle from Micheál Glynn. Now he's on the 21-metre line, and that ball has gone through the hands very nicely to Shane Rooney, but that was a good tackle from Tiernan Daly. Just it dislodged the ball from the hands of Shane Rooney. Now it's with Micheál Glynn, gives it to Tiernan Daly, and Derrygonnelly have a chance to break out.
Yeah, and probably Tomas McCaffrey had done very, very well down the wing here in front of us, and it played a lovely ball into Shane Rooney, and Shane Rooney just was robbed as he went to sell the dummy there. So Derrygonnelly are on the attack here now with Lee Jones.
Lee Jones was met by
for two
bounces. He was met by Barry McCann, and Barry McCann with that quick free gives it to Oisin Kelm, who got himself in a bit of trouble. Kevin Cassidy's there, but Kevin Cassidy's adjudged to a foul. Now he gives it over to Ben McCann on that far side of the field. There is Seamus Ryder's in there by himself, but I don't think they're going to kick it into him immediately anyway. Now it's over there in the hands of Oisin Kelm again, going through the hands from Erne Gaels. Ronan Cox has it. He's putting a high ball in. That looks like it's going to go
over.
I think that went over the bar. From Ronan Cox, as Derrygonnelly are bringing on 3 substitutes here. So
Yeah.
get the pen out.
Well,
See,
we have
so we have Mihal Glynn coming off.
Glynn's
we
coming
have
off.
Jack Love coming off, and we have number 17, who is Ryan McGovern, who has come on. We had
Conor Maguire, I think, has come on there, cornerback, and Neil
Neil Gallagher, number 20.
Not quite sure who the third player is. Lee Jones is coming
Lee
off
Jones
here
going to
now.
come off. So
So that's Conor Maguire going in onto Shane Rooney.
in
And
place
then-
of Jack Love.
Yeah, down there. And then you have Neil Gallagher is at wing half back in place of Lee Jones. And then Ryan McGovern has come on in the half forwards in place of
Mihal Glynn.
Mihal Glynn. Ryan McGovern's younger brother Gavin McGovern as well, captain of our under-19s last week that won the Division 1 final. Great footballer.
Good crunch in the middle of the field. Now it's picked up by number 5, who is Oren Johnson, who gives it into looking to find Seamus Ryder.
Oh,
No, it
number
wasn't
19.
Seamus. Number 19.
Must have come on during that last
Number
water break.
19 is Rory McGarrigle, who has come on for, as of yet, we're not entirely sure. Maybe Derek Keown.
Yeah, I think Derek Jonas went off, yeah. Big ball from Ryder from the sideline. Wished. That's
He has got
unbelievable.
it.
That's outrageous. Fair play, Jamie Ryder. Literally from the sideline here, down next to the club rooms. That was a
110,
super thing.
213, 6
111
points.
now. That's
111.
Ryder, yeah.
5 points between the teams as we approach. We're into getting towards the end of this game, so Erne Gaels are going to need a big push in these last couple of minutes. But there's a sideline ball, so take
have to
2 for
say-
Seamus Ryder.
You have to say Seamus Ryder and Tomas McCaffrey can do very little more. They're working their absolute socks off here, and probably Ryder has come out a little bit
Yeah.
more.
He's going for it
He's
again.
going to
So
go for it again. This is pretty much from the same place as last time. Wished. That's
close
unreal, boys. Oh, lads, that's worth the £5 alone to come in today.
well, I think Erne Gaels have figured out how to win. Just get the sideline on that
Get
side
the
of the
ball to
field and give it to
Seamus
Seamus
Ryder.
Ryder,
Get it to
because
Seamus
he's
Ryder.
2 from 2.
Yeah, and look at, since Ryder's come out and McCaffrey's come out, they're making hay when they get the ball into their own into the 45 there.
Brings it down to 4 points again. So Erne Gaels with a bit of chance again. Derrygonnelly have had most of the play here, so then there's 2 times that Erne Gaels have come back into it. But Stephen McGullion with Garvin Jones here and Ryan McGovern, chance to open that lead out
from
again.
Gavin McGovern
From
there.
Gavin McGovern there, widens the lead out a bit more.
Yeah.
Because Erne Gaels were definitely starting to close that. So Brian Ryder with his kick out here. He has got Podrick Johnson, who was free, but he's going to go long again.
Oh,
It's Barry McCann who's bringing that ball. Michael Jones was tackling him, but Barry McCann was fouled. He's looking for someone to take it short, gives it over to number 17, who is
Cal.
Oisin Callum. Now it's back to
Are
the
they going
hands
to
of
throw it in? Are they going to throw it in on top of the big man?
I think they're probably going to.
A goal could give us a grandstand finish here.
Barry McCann with this. It's 5 metres outside the 45-metre line, so it's going to be it's a brave distance. As I look, the flags are completely dead in front of
There's
us,
no
so
wind at
no
all.
wind at the minute. And the sun's come out, and it's actually got very warm here. So that ball is going in. It's going to go wide.
Had the distance,
Had the
sadly,
distance,
just not
but
the
no.
accuracy, yeah. Brendy Ross is in there telling the defence not to panic, to calm down a wee bit, and there is a wee bit of panic setting in there when the ball goes in, especially with Ryder mooching about.
Jack Kelly with his kick out here as he's going to go long, and it's gone out into the midfield. Garvin Jones is going up there, but Ronan Cox able to break that ball, picked up by number 7, who's Paul McCaffrey. Paul McCaffrey
Fouled there by
was
Neil
fouled,
Gallagher, yeah.
and it's in the hands of Paul McCaffrey there, who is looking to give it, and now it's with Barry McCann. Barry McCann's going high.
Oh, here we go.
Not going to reach the edge of the square, so Seamus Ryder has to go out there, breaks down, and Ben McCann's in there, and Garvin McGinley was in there. Garvin McGinley's picked it up, gives it over to Kevin Cassidy, and now Kevin Cassidy with a
That's a
chance
great
to
ball,
release
Eamon McHugh.
Eamon McHugh breaking inside the 45-metre line. He has got options. That is Gavin McGovern.
That's
Who
another
kicks
point.
that. It's
Oh,
come down
came
off the post, and it's been picked up by Tommy McCaffrey.
Looked like it came off the post, that.
It seemed to come off the post. The umpire had his hand up, anticipating getting it over
Don't
the
worry,
bar. So
Jerry Law was have his hand up, don't worry. And
Now-
McCaffrey wins a free there, ran into 4 Derrygonnelly men and finally won his free. have to say McCaffrey's work rate today has been sensational.
Taking that ball short, now it's in the hands of Paul Ward with Oren Johnson for support. Oren Johnson bounces the ball, gives it back to Paul Ward. Tommy McCaffrey's on this side of the field, but Erne Gaels need to start moving forward if they're going to try and cut this lead. That's Oisín Kelm over there. He's also got Ronan Cox, and now it is with Rory McGarrigle on the 45-metre line. Gives it to Jack McCann. They're still, if they're going to put the ball in, hey, they're going to need to do it soon.
Yeah.
It's Jack McCann now bouncing it. Derrygonnelly have built a bit of a wall, and Erne Gaels are struggling to get through it. Oisín Kelm on that far side of the field, breaking inside. Now it's with Paul McCaffrey and back to Ronan Cox.
I think this is what you call a patient build-up, Kieran. Very frustrating to watch, though.
Now Barry McCann burrowing inside, gets away from the tackle of
Ryan McGovern there.
McGovern.
Yeah, probably Ryan at his arm, maybe across him, and McCann's cute enough that he can buy that free there as well. But yeah, he had been fouled there, and I see Gavin down here now getting a yellow card. Gavin McGovern must have maybe told Lewis what he thought of that decision.
And it's I think they're going for a point. Our clock is reading with how much have we got left. We'll get that figured out, but it's a free from Seamus Ryder. He's about 3 or 4 metres inside the 45. Going to shoot the right footed kicker, going to give it plenty of air. I would imagine that is going in there. It's curling in rightly, but it didn't curl enough, and it's gone wide.
Yeah, and probably you wanted Seamus Ryder in on the edge of the square, and somebody dropped that ball in him. I think there's only maybe a minute to go here, so.
Well, I think he was looking for his point, because there's 4 points between them. So Jack Kelly now, the wind's picked up a wee bit more. That ball's going out. Steve McGullion's there. Barry McCann with a good jump. McGullion gets it tapped on, but it's been picked up by number 2, who is Podrick Johnson. Gives it to his cornerback colleague Ben McCann. Now it's with the hands of number 12, who is it was Podrick Johnson picking that ball up. And Derrygonnelly going in here. Stephen Gilroy got the run on Paul Ward. He's got a couple of players breaking inside that ball. It's not going to go dead because it's going very, very high. There's a chance here. Number 17 is Ryan McGovern, and he has been dispossessed. Now it's in the hands of it's
Podrick Johnson. I think maybe came out with that and won the free. He's given a yellow card to. I don't quite know who got that.
I think it could have been Garvin McGinley. Yeah, I think it was Garvin McGinley. So it's now in the hands of Ronan Cox on that far side of the field, kicking the ball forward. Shane Rooney making a good run there, but he's been put under pressure by Conor Maguire. Now it's in the hands of Oren Johnson. Oren Johnson gives it to Kelm, and we have Barry McCann in here as well. Got round 2 tackles there, so Oisín Kelm's done well. Tommy McCaffrey he wants to get to the left foot, pull back. So
pulled back by McGinley by the jersey.
It's going to be another free in for Erne Gaels. So I would think they're going to have to start going for a goal with 4 points in between it. But Garvin McGinley's got a second yellow card. I would think you could 2 yellow cards inside 60 seconds. There's a red card.
Yeah, looks like a second yellow there for Garvin McGinley. He did pull the jersey there, you know, and probably if you go by the rules, and Lewis tends to go by the rules, very little choice there. But Erne Gaels are going to have to try and build something here, and instead the free goes horribly wrong for
very badly wrong. Now it's been picked up by Eamon McHugh, and Eamon McHugh's going forward. Couldn't be long left in this game. He has got 2 players with him. Garvin Jones is one of them, Ronan McHugh's the other. Kevin Cassidy's breaking forward there as well. Number 20 is Neil Gallagher. So that ball it's Neil Gallagher trying to pick it up, turning round, tries to release Garvin Jones. He gets away from 2 tackles. Tommy McCaffrey's putting pressure on him in there again. Now it's in the hands of Stephen Gilroy. He's not got a chance. That ball's going to go short. Brian Ryder picks it up. He's got support here, and referee James Lewis blows the full-time whistle. A full-time score of Derrygonnelly 2-14 and Erne Gaels 1-12. That's a 5-point victory for Derrygonnelly. They're 2 from 2, much like Ethne at the top of Division 1 in the Manor House Senior Football League Division 2. Erne Gaels had chances in that game, Anita, certainly.
Plenty of chances, yeah, they had. If they'd have went at the game probably from the start, they had a very, very poor start, a very poor first quarter, you have to be honest about it. And probably when they got to grips then with, you know, coping with this, they had nothing around the middle of the field to contest a kick out. And I mean, you said it several times on the commentary, they had to, you know, change things up. I really feel that when it got to half time, McCaffrey really took hold, and McCaffrey kind of played deep around his own midfield. He was down in his own half back line, and everything good that came out of Erne Gaels in the second half, and in particular the final quarter, there was McCaffrey going forward, and it's an awful shame that maybe you have to sacrifice a player like McCaffrey to be the playmaker, and then that left things opening up there for Seamus Ryder up front. But badly need maybe another forward, and probably really badly missing the county man Ulton Kelm. He's a massive miss in there, because if Ulton Kelm had been in around the middle of the field there, I don't think Stephen McGullion would have won the amount of ball that he did. I certainly don't think Derrygonnelly would have won the amount of kickouts that they won. And then it means that McCaffrey can play up front. McCann was industrious, he got stuck in around the middle as well. And Derry, the replacement for Michael O'Mcgarrigle, Derry got on a lot of ball as well there. So probably I'd say the happier manager leaving here will be the Erne Gaels manager, because they have plenty now that they can work on going into their game on Wednesday night. From a Derrygonnelly point of view, yeah, probably happy with how they were able to break down counter attack once they'd broken the ball down in the half back line. They were able to kind of get forward, took some very good scores. Stephen Gilroy was very good today at number 13, got his hands on an awful lot of ball. Similarly, Stephen McGullion in the middle of the field was excellent. Garvin Jones was good, but still, it's only the second game in. There's no point in getting too carried away, but definitely it lines things up now for Wednesday night for Erne again Derrygonnelly to be a real, we'll know exactly where we are on Wednesday night, if you know what I mean.
And that brings to an end our broadcast here from it's a very sunny and a very warm Canon Maguire Park here in Derrygonnelly. I would like to say a very thanks to Anita for joining us on commentary, Padraig McGorn for the review of the games, and for our technical team here between cameramen and producers. We're blessed here with being able to bring these games to you on Fermanagh GAA TV. So just final thing, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure to subscribe to the Fermanagh GAA TV YouTube channel. And a word of thanks for our sponsors, Monaghan Brothers. We're very glad for all of our sponsors who are helping us bring these games to you, the Gaels of Fermanagh. So that wraps us up today.